It's safe to say that pro wrestling is in the blood of the Rhodes or Runnels men. Cody Rhodes, son of wrestling icon Dusty Rhodes, turns out for the WWE and has legions of adoring fans. He is also known for his recent body art acquisition, a slightly controversial neck tattoo. Today we are discussing Rhodes' neck tattoo and how the WWE hierarchy reacted to the body art, plus other bits and pieces. Stay tuned. First up, let's have a quick look at Rhodes' career. Rhodes, or Cody Garrett Runnels, as he was born, legally changed his name to Cody Garrett Runnell Rhodes as a teen and was a successful high school wrestler during his formative years. In his junior year, he won the 86 kg class in Georgia State, retaining his title the following year. And around the same time, he also got his first taste in pro wrestling, turning out as a referee for his Old Man's Turnbuckle Championship wrestling promotion. Rhodes was signed with the WWE straight out of school, serving a brief stint with their development branch, Ohio Valley Wrestling. He was promoted after a short stint in Ohio and became part of the WWE's main roster in 2007, where he became a two-time Intercontinental Champion, whilst also excelling as a tag team wrestler, winning a slew of championships with various partners. In 2016, he left the WWE after requesting his own release. A period in the wrestling wilderness beckoned, with Rhodes turning out on the independent circuit, but earlier this year, he returned to the promotion after a 6-year absence as a surprise opponent for fellow WWE wrestler Seth Rollins. Rhodes defeated Rollins at the WrestleMania event where he made his comeback, and in the following Raw event, he stated his goal this time around was to win the championship his father never got to hold. Of course, his father died back in 2015, so that would be a nice touch if he could capture the title. Next up, what about this tattoo? Of course, the last time Rhodes was seen in the WWE back in 2016, his neck area simply consisted of bare skin. But following the decision back in 2020 to get the ink just below his ear, Rhodes has revealed what his new employers think about it. The man himself, who has changed up his look since last appearing in the organization and now sports a distinctive shock of bleach blonde hair, recently revealed in an interview with Sports Illustrated that his current employers seem to be completely fine with it. The 6'2", 100-kilogram wrestler said, "Vince hasn't said anything negative about the tattoo. I've been waiting for some of these guys who knew me back in the day to say something, specifically Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes. Even Randy Orton hasn't said anything, and that was a shock to me because I wasn't a tattoo guy and he was covered. But it's a good thing to have, and good for him. If he wants a tattoo, why not?" He also went on to reveal that the WWE are going to soon be releasing temporary tattoos, so people can get their very own Cody Rhodes neck tattoo. He then spoke of how, when he was last with the promotion, everyone tried to tell me who I was, before claiming it wasn't really a bad thing as he didn't know himself. But he says that now he is reaching his final form. Are you a Cody Rhodes fan? And one fan has even inked himself in recognition of Rhodes. Stay tuned to hear all about it. It's one thing getting an innocuous tattoo that might have internal meaning, but it's a completely different ballgame getting a tattoo in honor of your favorite wrestler. But that is exactly what one Cody Rhodes fan has gone and done, and Rhodes himself has since reacted. The fan in question, Alex Orozco, showed off his new ink on Twitter recently, posting a picture of his American Nightmare tattoo, complete with face and American flag colors running through it, captioning it with the words, "Hi, at Cody Rhodes, big fan. Greetings from Piedras Negras, Mexico." I mean, that is a pretty bold move, right? And Rhodes himself, who of course has his own tattoo, which has garnered mixed reviews, actually replied to the tweet. The former Intercontinental Champ retweeted the message, simply saying, "Love it," which garnered quite the reaction on the social media platform. Of course, reactions were split right down the middle, with some fans loving it, whilst others, well, not so much. Some fans posted messages such as "great tat" or a simple fire emoji, and another even went as far as to say, "One of these days you should use the Nightmare skull as a face paint. It looks pretty badass." But some people disagreed though, with one fan simply calling it stupid. What are your thoughts on the fan's tattoo? And do you have any wrestling ones yourself? Next up, Rhodes has been discussing his old mate, John Cena. Cena, of course, is a legend of the game, and Cody Rhodes has recently acknowledged as much. The organization is currently honoring Cena throughout the entire month of June in recognition of his debut 20 years ago this month. And Rhodes, who of course knows Cena pretty well, has suggested the Hollywood actor is GOAT level. Rhodes was also discussing a difficult time in his own career, which saw the fans turn on him, and revealed how Cena was there for him, guiding him through it, even if it wasn't a different promotion. Rhodes turned down for the AEW promotion between 2018 and 2022, directly before his WWE WWE return and had to put up with chants of Cody sucks, which hurt as he had a significant role in founding the company. Rhodes said of Cena, "He very eloquently told me to be honest with myself as to why a crowd would react that way. Look in a mirror, and if you feel you're doing the right thing, keep doing it." Great advice. And if there's one person who would know, it's Cena. He has made a career over splitting fan bases, and Cena sucks chants can still be heard ringing around WWE Stadia. But Rhodes has also described John as the ultimate good guy, explaining that Cena also told him if the crowd starts making any noise, you have to reward them. It must be pretty tough to come back once the crowd decides you're not for them. Are you a Cena fan? Cody has been talking SmackDown now. Stick around. As you might remember, if you can cast your mind back that far, the last time Cody Rhodes appeared on SmackDown, he was actually set on fire. And the promotion will return to Rhodes' hometown this summer, at the end of July to be specific, and he has promised something big for his glorious homecoming. Talking to Twitter recently, Cody said, "I'll be there. It's Atlanta. It's home. Brandy is not setting me on fire this time though, but I'll come up with something. We shall see. It will be interesting to see what he comes up with and whether or not it will top his last outing," which sounds like one of the least enjoyable things ever, to be fair. What do you think Rhodes should do to celebrate his return? Next up, The Miz has been discussing Rhodes' return. Stay with us. The Miz was recently discussing Rhodes and his somewhat surprising return to WWE action, and was quick to praise the former Georgia State champ. Of course, many fans are still skeptical of Rhodes and how quickly he has risen since rejoining the promotion, but the former champ seemed to be fully behind him. He also claimed that Rhodes has what it takes to eventually challenge for WWE Gold, and discussed the issue on WWE's The Bump recently. He said, "I think there is always unfinished business. I've had Cody's number since before he left WWE. I don't even think he ever beat me before, and then now he comes back, and he's got a whole different trajectory, if you will, and I'm always looking to get to the top, and right now, honestly, Cody is earning his way to getting to the top. If he does get to the top, and he does end up with some sort of title, I would like to be in that conversation." High praise indeed. Do you think Cody has earned a shot? And finally, footage from Rhodes training this week. Rhodes goes up against Seth Rollins this weekend, and the WWE has uploaded footage of Cody being put through his paces at the Nightmare Factory, the promotion's training center in Georgia. Rhodes and Rollins will do battle at Sunday's Hell in a Cell, and the company has this week sent cameras to see how Rhodes is prepping. Rhodes spoke about making himself bulletproof and was seen focusing on upper body strength in the video. Who do you guys think wins the third and probably final match between Rhodes and Rollins this weekend? Let us know your thoughts below. As always, thanks for joining us today, and remember to stop by again next time when we will be discussing all sorts of different bits and pieces. And why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video, as well as subscribing to our channel so you don't miss out on more great content in the future. Bye guys!